Here's the bottom line. It doesn't matter what you think about this, and it doesn't matter how you feel about it either, because it's happening whether you like it or not. So college football fans, you better get ready. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, hope all of you having a great Thursday. Hope all of you having a great week. If not, hope this video can make it a little bit better. And man, oh man, it's happening. For better or for worse, and in reality, it's just going to be for worse. You're probably sitting there saying, yo, Matt, what the crap are you talking about? And you're going to see exactly what I'm referring to in this video. Let's just say it involves NIL, which is name, image, and likeness, in a situation we talked about roughly a week ago, in which I stated if this does happen, it's going to change the game of college football forever. We're going to talk all about that. We got two other minor topics to speak on, including, remember Matthew Sluka, that insane situation involving NIL at UNLV? Well, his old head coach just came out and stated something you might want to see. He came out and spilled the beans on the situation. Now, whether or not you want to believe him, that's up for you to decide. Our other topic we're going to speak on is something Payton Thorne had to say after Auburn and Oklahoma's loss. It's going to be a jam-packed video to say the least. Strap in, buckle up, get you a snack, get you a popcorn, get your favorite meal you like to eat when you watch a video, because trust me, I do the same thing. But all right, Matt, blah, blah, shut the crap up, now, not further ado. Let's get in. As most of you may have or may have not noticed, we haven't been reading any comments in some of the recent videos. This isn't brand new information. Our comment section is an extremely dangerous place, and you never know what you're going to see in there. However, I've been seeing this comment on some of the recent videos. I've seen it at least 10 to 15 times. So there is a rumor going around, and there's different variations of this comment, that Matt B. Diddy has signed an NIL deal with McDonald's to make a quote-unquote McDiddle meal. I ain't gonna hold you. The McDiddle meal? My brother in Christ, are you kidding me? Here's my first question. How do you even come up with that? Like, seriously, think about it. The McDiddle meal? I don't know if I should be mad at it or just appreciate the creativity behind it. Oh, and then two, what is this? Hashtag Matt be in love with Channing Tatum? Oh my gosh, now I know why he said that, because in the Hannah Cavanagh vid we reacted to where she's defending Carson Beck, by the way, if you haven't seen that video, go check it out. You need some context too. I stated something along the lines of, we can all agree that Channing Tatum's a decent looking dude. And I knew people were going to be geeking out in the comments, and I'll still say the same thing. I'm not insecure about it. If you can't admit Channing Tatum a good looking dude, I don't know, something wrong with you. And you know what I mean. Don't make it weird. I already know something right now. You're going to make it weird. Don't do that. Normally I'd sit up here and say, I wish I could read off more comments, but we got to get onto the football stuff. But I don't know if I would want to read anymore. It doesn't really matter, because guess what? We got to get into topic number one, and that is no other. Who do you want to start with first? Okay, let's go with Matthew Sluka. This is a very, very, very short situation. I'm not giving the backstory. If you don't know what's led us up to this point, go watch some of the previous videos. Very, very, very long story short, UNLV starting quarterback Matthew Sluka, he wound up leaving over a dispute over NIL money. Apparently and allegedly, and I have to say apparently and allegedly because it wasn't in writing, UNLV promised him $100,000 and they only paid him, what was it, $3,000 to $4,000? He said, you either pay me or I'm sitting out and I'm going to transfer. So they called his bluff, and yeah, he went through with it. He sat out and he's leaving. I thought we were done talking about it, but recently we got a new update, and his former head coach, Bob Chesney, wound up saying, quote unquote, this, I can assure you, has nothing to do with money. His entire interview is like a minute and 30 seconds long, but it's not even worth showing. All you need to know is he stated, yeah, this ain't about money. I can't speak for you, but for me, when I first saw this, I was like, wait, what? Are we talking about the same situation here? Because what did him and his family say? What was the main reason they're upset? Because UNLV promised him $100,000 and they're not paying him the $100,000. They did state it has nothing to do with getting more NIL money. They just want the money they were promised up front, and they haven't received that, so they're leaving. So I don't understand what this head coach is talking about when he states it's not about money, because Matthew Sluka and his family has came out and stated it is about money. Does this guy know what's going on? Is he up to date with the situation? Am I missing something here? Let me know in the comment section. I don't even know what more to say, because there's nothing to argue here. This is one of the dumbest things I've seen this week. The only thing I can think of is his former head coach here was trying to take up for him, have his back, and he just spewed out some BS. Let me know your thoughts on that. But moving along here to our second topic, you gotta see what Payton Thorne said. I thought about making this an entirely separate video itself. That's how dumbfounded it had me. You don't need an introduction on Payton Thorne, one of the worst starting quarterbacks in the Power 5, one of the worst starting quarterbacks in the SEC, and he's a professional INT thrower. He's not very good at the game of football. He's a future insurance salesman. I say all that to say this: in the most recent game against Oklahoma, he quite literally threw the game away. Auburn's winning. All they got to do is run the clock out. It's 3rd and 4, and he throws a pick 6, and Auburn loses. And in regards to that one play, in an interview, he stated, and I quote, "Quite honestly, if I had that play over 10 times, I probably would have done the same thing 10 times out of 10. When I saw that on Twitter, I thought it was one of those troll accounts. I thought it was a fake quote. But no, come to find out, there's an interview where he said that. I'm not going to show you the interview because I don't really know who owns the rights to this interview, and I don't even want to mess with copyright. Not really trying to deal with all that. The point is, and all I need to know, is he stated, yeah, if I had that same play over 10 times, I'd do it 10 out of 10 times again. I would throw an interception 10 out of 10 times. I can't harp on that enough. I want you to think about this. In life, not just in football, imagine making a mistake and then following that mistake. It's fine to make mistakes. We're humans. We're going to mess up. But following that, you go, yep, I'd do the same thing 10 out of 10 times again. I'd mess up 10 out of 10 times. What? What in the loser mentality is this? That's the definition of being a loser. Because you know what a winner does? A winner is not always about winning. It's how you respond to adversity and how you respond to your losses and mistakes. But this right here is the definition of a certified loser. If I threw an interception, even if the defense fooled me, clap it up to them. Hey, you got me on this one? But there's no way I'm even thinking for a split second I'd do the same thing 10 out of 10 times. I have to tell myself as a winner and as a confident person, hey, I'm going to go out there and I'm going to get the defense this time. They're not going to get me. Payton Thorne's like that one meme I post on Twitter where it's got that we're looking goofy where he says, F it, I'll do it again. And I already know you're going to have some nerd run to the comment section. He's probably already typing. He probably already wrote the comment by this point in time in the video. Well, Matt, on that play, and I watch film, buddy, so I know, on that play, yes, that was the correct read. I'm not going to sit up here and have a complete film breakdown on Payton Thorne at Auburn because there's no need to. But the point is, with everything that happened on that play, that was the right read. But, and I have a big but, you still don't throw it to the other team. And I don't even care if you think in your head, yeah, I'd probably mess up 10 out of 10 times again. Why would you come out and say that in an interview and make it public information? I get what he's saying, but at the same time, I don't get it. I'm going to chalk it up to we got different mentalities. Maybe some of you agree with them, maybe some of you don't, but I'd for dang sure never even put that energy out there that I'd throw 10 straight interceptions. I'd love to talk about that some more, but moving along here to the main topic, the main encore, main reason you clicked onto this video. What is going on with good old NIL and college football? About roughly a week ago, Dave Portnoy started talking about potentially paying a Michigan quarterback $2 to $3 million per year. He said this in an interview or a podcast, whatever he does. The reasoning behind that is because he is sick and tired of Michigan not having a good quarterback with J.J. McCarthy gone. He wants somebody new. And the interesting thing about that, and I stated in the video, is Portnoy, if he's serious, I couldn't tell if he was serious or not, he has the funds to do so. And he's in a rare situation because most alumni and college football fans, they love to pay a quarterback to come to their school $2 to $3 million, but they don't have $2 or $3 million to spare. Dave Portnoy, on the other hand, does, and he's willing to spend that money every single year. I guess you could say this is like part 2 to the original video, because come to find out, Dave Portnoy, he wasn't just talking the talk, he's walking the walk. These are not reports. It has been confirmed that Dave Portnoy has met up and spoken with Sharon Moore about the multi-million-dollar NIL deal for a quarterback. I can't remember if I said this in the video or not, but I kind of figured Dave Portnoy was being serious because I know he loves Michigan football. I don't know a lot about the guy, but I know he loves Michigan. Portnoy stated, quote unquote, my problem with the NIL, besides it's a lot of money just to kind of throw out the window, but I'm willing to do it, I do not want to talk to other people. I don't want to. I am not trying to get in the middle of the NIL. I do not want people I don't know calling me. I don't want to talk to this guy. I don't want emails from that guy. I don't want any of that. I don't want any of that. If you don't know what he's referring to, he is talking about he doesn't want to get involved with a collective. He doesn't want to make this like a middleman thing where he gives the money to the NIL, then the NIL gives the money to the player, and it's like back and forth, a lot of BS. And I understand what he's saying, and I agree with him. Portnoy continued on. I talked to Sharon. I talked to him. I have his number. We talked. He told me the one guy I got to talk to, one guy to talk to. I've not talked to that person. I will, and then we'll see. But here's where the problems start to arise for Portnoy. he has some serious beef with one of the collectives at Michigan. I'll show you this word for word. One major concern for Portnoy is that he doesn't want to work with the NIL collective at Michigan thanks to a business disagreement, though he was not specific about the issue. Instead, he explained that he wants the relationship to be with the player directly. Portnoy states, and I quote, "But I'm not going to, like I've said this, the collective. There's a company involved in the Michigan collective that I blank hate. And I had a bad experience with Barstool with them. I will not associate with this company ever, so that's almost, they're out." So I gotta see, and I don't want middlemen. I don't want any of it. I want the quarterback's cell phone number just because it's like we got a schedule when we're doing our things at Barstool. That's it, so we'll see. In other terms to dumb this down, Portnoy doesn't want a middleman, doesn't want to give the money to the collective. He wants to go up to the player himself and say, "Hey, you come to Michigan, I'll give you $3 million, yes or no," and it's just between them two. Which, if I was in Dave Portnoy's shoes, and I think we can all agree, that's how we want to do it. What he's saying is the equivalent to giving the money to charity. When you donate money to charity, you just hope and pray they do something right with it, or they do what they say they're going to do with it, but at the end of the day, you don't know what they're going to do with the money. Same thing here. Dave Portnoy doesn't know if he gives this NIL collective the money, or he doesn't trust them to do what they say they're going to do. And if I'm giving someone $3 million, yeah, you best believe I'd rather give that to them directly, not through a middleman. So I understand where he's coming from there, and I remember talking about this years and years ago. This is what NIL was going to turn into since we don't have regulations. And even with these collectives, it's still horse crap and it's BS. But now what you're going to start seeing is these rich alumni and boosters that don't want to work with a collective and just go after a specific player. They're just going to go after them themselves. All you got to do is start up, and one reference I always made up is JJ's Coffee Shop. For example, if I wanted, let's just say, Ryan Williams to go to Alabama, and I wanted to give him $1 million, I, Matt B. Great, can't directly give him $1 million because that's not quote-unquote NIL. But, and I have a big but, I, Matt B. Great, can open up JJ's Coffee Shop, and I can sponsor him through JJ's Coffee Shop and give him the $1 million through that. You see what I'm saying? And that is a major loophole, and it's an easy one to navigate because all you gotta do is either A, have a business, or B, start up a business. And all you gotta have Ryan Williams do is show up to some JJ's Coffee Shop events, wear some merch, and that's it. Everything's kosher. And that's what you're going to see with Dave Portnoy. He's just going to have this player be sponsored by Barstool. He show up to some events, wear some merch, and that's it. That's how you get away with it. But here's another thing we got to talk about, and we did talk about it a little in the previous video. What if Portnoy gives his quarterback $2-3 million and he sucks? You know Portnoy's going to be pissed off and he's going to be mad about it, and that's a whole nother video for a different day. I hope he doesn't do that because from a business perspective, you just got to take that as, hey, we took a gamble and it didn't work out. Kind of surreal how fast all this is happening. I mean, Dave Portnoy is going to buy Michigan a quarterback. That's how things look right now. And you got Sharon Moore going, "Oh yeah, sounds good to me. Here's who you got to talk to and set everything up with." Here's the bottom line. It doesn't matter what you think about this, and it doesn't matter how you feel about it either, because it's happening whether you like it or not. So college football fans, you better get ready. Welcome to the new era of college football. I'm curious. Let me know your thoughts on this down below. But